Hey everyone, and welcome back to DIY with Melissa. As you know, I'm Melissa. Happy New Year to you all. I hope you all had a fantastic holiday, whatever it is you might have been celebrating. And let's get right back into this crafting fun. Today I have a really fun project for you. This is if you have a sublimation printer, but it's something to save if you plan on getting a sublimation printer in the future. I might have mentioned it before. I do have a sublimation printer. I did not go with the converted sublimation printer. I went with a Epson F100, I think it's called, uh, sublimation printer. I just didn't want any issues, so that's the route I went. And it was. If you don't have a sublimation printer, I have good news. I am going to add this to my Etsy shop. Customizable canvases that you can purchase, and I can send the print to you for you to create them. But if you are not able to create them, I'm also sending the files. If you have a sublimation printer, you can print it yourself. So there's a lot of options available for this one. So without further ado, we're going to get right into it. And we're creating these adorable little canvases that can be painted um, as a family. It can be gifted as a paint night. I did gift my family members canvases for them and the kids for paint night, and it turned out really cute the way they all had it set up. So without further ado, we're going to head to the computer and I'm going to tell you how I went about making this design. We are back at the computer and I'm going to show you just how I went about creating this graffiti name on a canvas. To start off, the font I'm using for the name is a font I got off of Creative Fabrica. It's called Urban Stars. And I just went on here and searched through a bunch of different fonts that I liked until I found the best one that I really like. So this is the font I'm using. The other thing is that this font is not actually ready to be painted. And what I mean by that is, I'm going to just set this aside and bring in my text box. We'll grab the font. If you are unsure how to download fonts and bring them into Cricut Design Space, I do have a video on that, and I'll link it at the end of this video, so you can go ahead and check that out. So my font is here, and as you can see, there's not an outline, is what I was trying to say. It looks like this when you bring it in. So how I went about creating the outline is I offset this font. And I'm going to do a negative offset. And I found what worked for my project was a negative 0.020. And the other thing I did was do sharp corners, but I'll hit apply on this. I will then select both the name and the offset and click on slice. Remove our excess, and there you have the outline of the name, which looks really good. Once I had that in place, I wanted to add the extra layers. As you can see, there's a bunch of offsets on this, so I'm going to go through with you how I went about doing this quickly. Once you have your name in place, we will offset again, and we're going to offset to the positive amount. When offsetting this portion, it's very important that all of the letters are touching. As you can see right now at 0.056, the M is touching nothing right now. This is not going to be an ideal situation, but you can try it and see. But I found for me it wasn't. I'm going to show you why right now. So I'll hit apply on this offset. I want to contour the offset and remove all of the contours. So when I do that, I'm then losing my contour for my M. I have no idea. Maybe somebody else knows how to get this to work so that it doesn't do that. But I wasn't able to figure it out. So I found just offsetting your name a little bit bigger so that it will touch worked for me. As you can see, it's touching right here. I will do just a touch bigger, so it's actually touching a bit more, just like that. And I'm going to hit apply. What I was also going to say is that I found that if I did the round corner, even though this does have a bit of a round corner, as I kept offsetting, I didn't really like the look of it. So again, this is totally up to you. This is just something I preferred when I did this. I'm going to hit apply. And now I'm going to hit contour again. And I'm going to hide all contours. So to that, I'm going to change my color to white. And there you have the first layer. You can leave it like this if you want. You don't have to go as far as I did. I preferred it the way I did it. I just thought it looked really good and clean and fun to paint. So we'll hit offset again. I'm going to offset this at a lesser amount. I might even do it to 55. Yep. And hit apply. And I did this one as the light gray. And then my last offset, same amount as a black offset. Again, you don't have to do this. I don't know, for me, I just thought it looked really good like this, and I wanted to do it like this. Once everything is offsetted and your name is ready, we're going to group and flatten our project. So there is my name ready to go. The next thing I did was I went to Creative Fabrica. I did search Cricut for this and I didn't see anything that I liked. As you may know, I do have the subscription for Creative Fabrica. I really love it. You don't have to get it. You can actually buy them as one-offs as well, the font, or as you can see, I'm looking for a brick wall now. So just keep that in mind. I did want it on the brick wall. When you look up graffiti type stuff, you know, it's sitting on a brick wall. The other one I liked was this exploding brick wall. I thought that would have been a lot of fun too, but I did choose the flat brick wall instead. And I can't find the one that I used, but I do have it obviously downloaded, and this is the one I used. From this one, I did upload a couple of options. My favorite being the white brick wall 2. That's what I ended up using. But as you can see, there are so many options that you can choose from. The white to me would be the best. So as far as white goes, I went ahead with this one. I like the look of it. Again, this is completely up to you. This one actually would be really nice too. What you would prefer. So I went ahead and I brought in this brick wall. And of course, we're going to have to size it down. Send it to the back. And then I'm going to grab both the brick wall and the name, the flattened name. I'm going to align center. And I thought it would be nice to just make the name a little slanted. Again, whatever you like, please do. This is just what I thought would have been nice to do. Have it centered. The last thing I highly suggest is not making it so that it's super close to the edge of your brick wall. Just remember that this will have to be printed on whatever size canvas, it'll have to be printed on your sublimation printer and then have to fit on the canvas. So you don't want to waste any paper. So for me, bringing it in a little bit on either side was the perfect way to do this. Once I was happy with everything, I selected both the name and the brick wall and clicked on flatten. This is now ready to print. Of course, you will have to size it down because Cricut will only print so big. The canvas size that you will use will also depend on what size you're going to make your print. Initially, I grabbed an 8x10 canvas size and I wasn't able to print that directly from Cricut, so I did have to change it to a little bit of a smaller canvas size. So I would say for this project, a 5x7 will be the biggest that you could do. So 7 across would be it, and then 4.65 would be the height. This is going to work out perfectly for that size canvas. If you do want to do it bigger, there are hacks that you can use to try and get it outside of Cricut by selecting your project with your snippet tool and moving it over to your program of choice. So keep all of that in mind when you are creating your canvas. But if you want it as a 5x7 canvas, like I said, this will definitely work for you. The last thing you have to keep in mind is that the canvas, if you're not using a flat canvas, you're using the one with the frame, you will need the pressure back there to ensure that it presses fine. But like I said, I'm going to go to the craft desk and I'll give you all of that information. So let's just get this printed and go from there. All right, our print is printed. I am using a Sublimation printer to create this project, so keep that in mind. It's obviously backwards for that reason. And I'm using this canvas. The canvas size is a 4.7 by 7.1. So I put that exact size into Cricut and I printed the design for that. It is a little bit taller, but that's okay because it's only going to press whatever's on the canvas. I do have some things stuck back here. This is to help give it some pressure when pressing. That's going to help make sure that everything sticks properly. The last thing is that I did not get Cricut to cut this out, and as you can see, it was struggling to print for some reason, but I'm not going to bother getting my machine to cut it out because it is just a simple rectangle. I can use some scissors and just cut this out. It doesn't have to be super precise, but as close as possible. My heat press is warming up. I'm going to press this at 405 for 30 seconds. I have done it at 395 for 30 seconds and that also worked. However, I was having some issues trying this again, and for whatever reason it decided not to work, so we're going to go with that heat and see what happens this time around. So get our project on. I am also using heat protectant tape. This whole thing can be found on my Amazon storefront. I got two different sizes of the heat protectant tape, and it fits really well in here. This will give you a long piece of tape, and this actually spins and cuts smaller pieces for you. So whatever works for you, you have your option here. And I highly recommend grabbing one of these if you plan on doing sublimation printing. It will come in handy for sure. It's all ready to go. My machine's almost heated up, and like I said, I just put some stuff in the middle here because, as you know, the canvas is an open canvas like this one, so there's probably like a good fingertip depth in there. If you try to press this, you're not going to have the pressure that you need to be able to make sure it presses properly. So once our heat press heats up, I'll move over there and we'll get this press. Okay, so as I said, please don't mind my mess firstly, but as I said, this is set to 405 for 30 seconds. I do have a piece of Teflon sheet sitting here. This is protected my mat because I actually pressed something and it got stuck. So it's protecting my projects as well. So we have that set there. And the other thing I'm going to put on top is just a piece of butcher paper. And we're going to push this in and press start. I do have this heat protecting glove on. It is very important because this does get very hot. So we'll let this go and I'll be right back. Our first press is done and you're seeing that the name is coming through a little bit better. I am going to press it one more time. I'm actually going to turn it this way and press it one last time. I found it was necessary just to do it the last time to ensure that it's sublimated correctly. And let me tell you, people will say not to sublimate on these canvases. So far, I have done it numerous times and had no issue with it. I even put water on it to ensure that it wouldn't run, and I had no issue. So let this run. I'll be right back. All right, we are done. I'm back here at the craft table, and I'm just going to release the tape. It looks so good. Oh my goodness. How amazing does that look? It's still a little warm, but it looks so good. I'm so happy with that. We'll remove the stuff from the back. And I'm just literally using paper and cardstock. Actually, just a piece that came with the canvas. And there you have it. We are now ready for paint night. And there you have it. How simple was that? You can grab the font, like I said, and the background off of Creative Fabrica. You don't need a membership. You can pay for the one-time or pay the one-time payment to get it. But it's something really cute that you can add to your shop and offer that. Valentine's Day is coming up. Who wouldn't want a nice paint night, whether it be a family paint night or a couple's paint night? How adorable would this be? I will put some pictures to show you the setup that my brother and sister-in-law did. It was really cute. But of course, if you don't have a sublimation printer and you want to create this, let me know. Like I said, I'll link my Etsy shop. I'm adding it there to my Etsy shop shortly as a customizable print. And if you don't have a sublimation printer, I'm also offering the printed version, which I can send off to you by mail. Again, I do hope you enjoyed that tutorial. If you did, don't forget to give me the thumbs up, hit that bell button, and of course subscribe, because like I said, we are having lots of fun here at DIY with Melissa. Until next time, have a fabulous weekend and a great week ahead. Take care. Happy crafting. Bye now.